What is up, rebel colonists and Mars citizens? I am just a simple new type. And in this episode, we are concluding Frozen Teardrop Volume 5. Last time, we learned about Sabrina and Katerina Peacecraft, who was separated at birth. After the Sank Kingdom was attacked, the sisters were reunited without a kingdom. This time, with the help of J. Knoll and Hiro Yui, Katerina will reclaim her homeland. She will pilot a mobile armor that will become Epion, and Sabrina's cat, Sam, becomes the basis for the Zero System. So let's get into this. Hiro went back to school and met with J. Knoll. He describes his laboratory like an evil lair. There are a lot of rumors about J. Knoll and his shady dealings. Hiro asks him if he could clone a cat. He says, of course, he could do anything. 2 days later, J. Knoll shows up to the Darlian estate with a giant machine. Hiro says, what the hell is this? It is the Wyvern. This looks nothing like a cat, says Hiro. Jay needs more time for that, but he will help with AI. He is talking about the cat, but also talking about the AI for the Wyvern. He could do 2 things at once. Many of the software is done by Thomas Current. Hiro is struggling to see how the Zero System has anything to do with the cat. Jay calls Hiro an amateur. They boot it up. Of course, this is the basis for what will become Epion. The book only talks about the mobile armor form. There is no mobile suit form as there are no mobile suits or Gundams yet. They head to Sabrina and ask her questions about the cat. They ask about the cat's traits. Jay mistakes Sabrina for Katerina. Awkward silence ensues. They end up creating an AI version of Sam. For now, it's merely a computer interface, but it seems to make Sabrina happy. Jay says, I'm leaving the Wyvern here, bye. What an asshole. He just totally incriminated them all. Sabrina plays a song for the digital Sam. She thought it was uncanny how spot on the AI is. Katerina hears Sabrina play and asks Hiro to dance. Tonight was his last night as a tutor, so he indulged her. Their dance came to an end and Hiro left the estate. He heads to an alliance meeting with Jay, where one is preaching about their taxes, paying for the alliance's military. The produce is even siphoned to Earth. They haven't reached the point of collectively working against the alliance, so many take on libertarian stances. This happens to be Sank Kushinaga. Hiro realizes that this was the other person in the escape pod. It's rare to see alliance members at these meetings. He is preaching against his own Earth rights. The Duke reminds them that childbirth is still hard in the colonies, and they still need to rely on one another. Hiro chimes in saying they need an ideal at the core of their foundation, one built on assisting one another without forced unification, the freedom to work and study without war. This gets some of the others riled up. Sank asks Hiro for his name. Suddenly an explosion goes off. Most of the people are unharmed in this attack, with the exception of Hiro, J. Knoll, and Thomas Current. Hiro suffered severe burns. J. Knoll lost his left arm, and Thomas's abdomen was punctured. Current is the only one in critical condition. He says they were close to finishing the prototype Perfect Peace program. They stay by his side as Current dies. The police come in and apprehend the two. Katerina sees this on the news. Like the shuttle incident, this was blamed on rebel terrorists. Hiro's burns healed quickly. A Duke Kushinaga eventually helped bail them out. The Darlians were moving once again to a small apartment. They sold most of their possessions and tried to sell the Wyvern as well. Sabrina will have to leave behind the AI Sam. The cat can sense that something is wrong. J. Knoll and Hiro go to the college to check out Current's lab. They mention that Current had a brother named Kantz. Jay can't type with his new prosthetic arm. They access his computer to find chilling information. Katerina realizes that Jay's Zero System is stronger than just an AI cat. It begins predicting military conflict. It also tells him that the Sank Kingdom is going to be nuked. Hiro contacts Katerina and tells him that they know about the nukes as well. If she is going to take action, now is the time. Jay tells them that the Wyvern can take out the ship carrying the nuke. Sam, aka Zero, bonded with Sabrina. She can't pilot, but Katerina can. So Katerina will be the one to handle this. She knows that Sam can do most of the piloting anyways. She gets into an old astro suit. The mobile armor meows. I look like a dragon, but I'm also a cat. Nyan nyan. She launches and finds 8 orbital satellites. Any of them can have the nukes. She can't just destroy them and create space debris. Katerina launches to find 8 orbital satellites. She plans on circling the Earth and taking each one out one by one very carefully, without causing any debris. Katerina wants to tell Hiro that she loves him, but she says it's a secret and she will tell him when she returns. The mobile armor meows. The satellite Gamina MW begins launch preparations for the nuke. She jams their signals, but no success. She takes aim and fires. The satellite begins tumbling out of the Earth's orbit, unable to fire the nuke. But wouldn't it get pulled back in by Earth's orbit? Never mind. The Wyvern begins entering into Earth's atmosphere. She heads towards the Sank Kingdom. Katerina handles the G-forces no problem. AC-145, December. Katerina declares war on those who harm the Sank Kingdom. Peace is over, bitches! The rebels are concerned that someone is doing their job better, while the Alliance thinks that the rebels have elite spies, even though it's all just J-Null. One of the rebels is Mardix Rex. They think maybe the Wyvern still has the nuke and will use it on them. Mardix decides to meet with Katarina Peacecraft. A storm weakens the rebels' coordination. A flare rises into the sky. It was mistaken for enemy fire, and the rebels panicked and fired. Something approaches their flagship, the Robin Hood. It hails their ship and requests landing. The pilot says she is Katarina Peacecraft. She gives them an ultimatum and suggests that they let her land. They grant her permission to land, and she meets with Mardix. The rebels are somewhat skittish. She wants the rebel army to cease fire. They think they want her to surrender. Katarina decides to rebuild the Sank Kingdom with the help of the rebels. She was able to negotiate the release of the Queen and King of the Sank Kingdom. They originally mistook her for Sabrina. She lets them know that Sabrina is safe. Her parents are too frail from imprisonment, so she assumes control of the throne. She was able to assume control with ease, as she was adored by her people. Having Katerina there was beneficial to the rebels as well, but it also puts them in a position where they could screw over the Sank Kingdom at any time, since the rebels are the only reliance of force. The Alliance was quite calm after Katerina's return, but they are waiting for the rebels to leave the Sank Kingdom territory. They have many Clover-class carriers waiting at the border. They aren't attacking for fear of losing the King and Queen. Now that they are free, there is no reason to hold back. Mardix Rex was the rebels' representative by Katarina's side, but he acted as a watchdog. Working with the rebels happens to be Mike Howard. He helps tune up the Wyvern. Sam is still being watched over by Marquise Weirridge. Weirridge doesn't seem to like Katarina like he does Sabrina. Mardix will eventually marry Katarina's daughter and will give birth to Miliardo Peacecraft. AC-146, January 19th. Commander of the Earth Alliance 3rd Fleet, Chest Onagel, father of Daigo Onagel, issues the rebels to surrender. They plan on a war of attrition. The rebels approach. The Wyvern is already in the sky. She says, "Tally-ho." Tally-ho? Really? Okay. Sam shows her a wave of enemy fighters approaching on the display. The upgraded thrusters of the Wyvern were exceptionally better. Sam is doing most of the work and takes out the enemy fighters. The Alliance also has their own version of G-fighters and G-bombers that were deployed before the age of mobile suits. They fire missiles, and Katarina takes a lot of G-forces to the face to dodge them. Many missiles lost their target lock and self-destructed. She uses a super jammer and stealth fields. The jammer was made by DD, which stands for Diamond Desperado. She laughs and says that she should call herself the Queen of Hearts. History would end up calling her the Lightning Queen, however. She is above the Clover-class ships. DD's jammer prevents anything from moving within its range and cuts off all comms. She tells the rebel ship Robin Hood that their mission is complete. They begin bombarding the Clover ships, and the Alliance's 3rd Fleet collapses. AC-146, February. The Sank Kingdom stole a few Clover-class ships for their growing rebel army. The Alliance became afraid more so of this EMP device that disarmed their entire fleet. The disgraced Onagel thinks there may be another way. He was stripped of command for his failure. Onagel suggests that they bring in the Romefeller Foundation. Duke Sank of the Romefeller Foundation suggests that they invite the princess to Luxembourg, where they could strong-arm her into paying reparations for Genema NW. They will make sure they handle the Wyvern as well. The Duke speaks with Eric Shergold, a man of wealth but no nobility. Eric says now is the time to clip the Alliance's wings. So Trace Kushinada's plan to unify the world under Oz in the anime all began here. In a moment of weakness, the Alliance reached out to the Romefeller Foundation and started making moves. Eric suggests the Duke reach out to Hiroyui. The Alliance monitors the North Sea to ensure Katarina can unleash an EMP before the meeting. The Alliance let their guard down 1 hour before the meeting, and the EMP device was activated once again. Katarina showed up late to the meeting with Hiroyui. They wonder who then just attacked nearby. This so happens to be Sabrina, while Katarina was handling the EMP. She tells the Romefeller Foundation that the Alliance tried to nuke the Sank Kingdom. Also check out my cat Sam. This is the real one. Meanwhile, Katarina, along with the rebels, were about to take out the 4th and 5th Fleet and destroy the Alliance's winning streak. MC0022 next winter. Naina turns on autopilot and decides that she is going out. Young duo Maxwell is on their tail with Warlock. She contacts the Elysium Island Merciless Fairies squad for assistance. As she heads out, she refers to herself as the Queen of Hearts. And that will conclude Frozen Teardrop Volume 5. The volumes where they go back in time and reflect on After Colony is far more engaging than what is happening in Mars Century, if I'm being honest. I like seeing the mistakes made in the past that led to the events of the anime. Next time, we will dive into Volume 6, where we will shift perspectives to Dr. T. We will learn about the circus he and Catherine created on Mars. And we will see how he and Chang Wu-Fei came to build the next generation of Gundams. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember that the intimidating Epion started out as a kawaii neko. Nyan nyan. Peace.